you can consistently be a Kaspa maxi and still be and still acknowledge that Kaspa's fate is intertwined with crypto's fate, and it can't be too much of an outlier. So for me, this is more a question of where do I think crypto can get rather than Kaspa.
That's a
I
good
would
answer.
say, thank you. I would say I don't see a world where Bitcoin is highly used other than store of value, and Kaspa is not. Like I can see a world where Bitcoin is not used, but it's just king of you're not king of cloud, just store of value. But if Bitcoin is used, I don't see a world where Kaspa is not adopted as well.
Mark Crook says, "Hi Yonatan, you compared Kaspa contracts to Solana. Explain why Kaspa will be far better and why banks will ultimately adopt the better tech."
I don't know that banks will adopt the better tech. Maybe they will be replaced by the better tech. The reason I'm referencing Solana is it's more it's it's more because of the very different. It's because it achieved, due to its monolithic design, a very cohesive um, society of developers, so to speak, and Ethereum suffers from so much fragmentation, and the developer experience in Ethereum has become too fragmented. The Ethereum ecosystem became too fragmented, and it's unclear. It's no longer clear what does it mean to be in Ethereum. Like let's say Kaspa, someone takes Kaspa and implements a bridge to make Kaspa a side chain to Ethereum with Polygon was able to pull off under the name of L2. Like, is it still Ethereum? Like, it's like a spectrum of gray. It's unclear what does it mean to become Ethereum, whereas it's very clear what does it mean to build in Solana. And this is what I'm referring to. There's also, of course, the Rust nativeness, um, which is nice, and again, these things will not be coded by me. Hans is working on this. Of course, Michael is working on this, and others. There isn't. It's. I'm not implying that I will that I'm coding this design, but from a vision and direction point of view, it's clear. It's clear to me. It has been clear for several years now that the way users and Casper builders should feel in the system, in the ecosystem, is much more similar to Solana than to Ethereum. You know, of course, Ethereum has is a much more interesting community in the sense of research. Research and ideas, and I guess it's the most interesting community and most contributing most to understanding of DeFi and other ideas in crypto. So of course it has lots of merit. Um, so this is not a jab at Ethereum so much as an aspiration to learn from its mistakes. And I think a lot of what's happening in Caspa is a timing issue. It's a late runner advantage because we are developing smart contracts in the era where ZK is in real time proving is in the horizon and ZK is production ready. Then we get the benefit to be the first or one of the first layer ones to incorporate ZK design in advance. Like it is very clear, as Vlad mentioned sometime along this conversation, at some point, that if ZK was software was feasible at the time, Bitcoin would have looked different, and Bitcoin core devs would have chosen different, or would have stuck to different views. So Kaspa had this advantage that we have the right timing. We're developing smart contracts exactly when ZK tech is ready. You can consider this smart or lucky, to your choice. But the bottom line is we want the same developer experience as Solana and the same social cohesiveness of devs as Solana, and at the same time maintaining Bitcoin-like security in the sense of separating the entire financial logic from L1. This is an endeavor that is, it's not a moonshot. It's something that once we um, publish the formal model and paper, both the yellow paper and a more academic-like paper, it will become clear what the formal claim is and what the formal guarantees are. So it won't remain opaque for too long. It will be the claims will be made concrete in writing. But I just want to make sure that it's not falsely understood that you'll be able to code actual Solana contracts in Kaspa, because Solana itself is not a zkVM. You need to create a zkVM, so the developer experience would be very similar to Solana, but formally you will write in a zk VM, a zk EVM, SP1, maybe RISC-0. It depends on not only on us. It depends on what demand for prover system and prover networks there will be. But I guess we will whitelist anything that is has been is that is reasonable in the eyes of that has consensus on its soundness. So it's not importing Solana as is. It's more aspiring to achieve the same level of cohesiveness and experience and Rust nativeness, etc.
Did you have dinner, Yonatan?
I thought you're all for privacy.
Well, I can reveal that I haven't had dinner. I just had a big lunch. Oh,
There's no complaint on my side. I like the air, I like the idiot interviewer, as you were honestly referred to.
Always Ghosty, I think, says, how do you think the community could improve? This includes community developers and community on X.
Thanks for this question. The community can, I think, become more informed on crypto in general. That will help everyone understand what Kaspa contributed and what it borrowed from other projects. Um, I think that's if someone wants to be a very good promoter of Kaspa or advocate for Kaspa, I really suggest knowing a lot about Ethereum, Solana, of course, but Ethereum mainly, Bitcoin mainly. Like many of the things that we are innovating on are deeply rooted. Their V1 is what was innovated by others, and appreciating our innovations and contributions must be in the context of those previous works. It just doesn't make. Just consider. I think if you take the power of Kaspa community today and combine it with some more context on crypto, I think that's an unstoppable force, but it requires this effort of curating, I would say curating context on crypto. Like for instance, the ZK rollups, understanding that this in and of itself is not an innovation that stemmed from our community. Understanding that most of Kaspa's or the base layer, the base ideas are of course rooted in Bitcoin. Not to downplay our contribution, rather to position them correctly. And I think, of course, the lack of context was also very facilitative and had the true benefit of being loyally enthusiastic about Kaspa, and it's very loyal and loyal to the project, a very self-loyal community, and I think combining this with slightly more context on crypto would become a game changer in terms of community outreach, the project's outreach. I think other founders would find it more difficult to ignore Kaspa if this change or development takes place. So